Hello and welcome to the class. My name is Alex. Today we're going to talk about vocabulary for food and restaurants. So by the end of this class, you should be able to use a wider range of language to describe situations related to food and restaurants. After the class today, if you want to ask us a question, remember you can click the chat icon at the top of the page. This will allow you to send us a message with your question. During the class, there will be some questions to answer. You can find these below the video. I will tell you when you need to answer the questions, and I'll give you some time to do so. Okay, let's get started. Here we can see a man in a restaurant. But who is this man? He is the waiter. If it was a woman, we would call her the waitress. But what do waiters and waitresses do? Well, waiters and waitresses are the people who bring us our food in a restaurant. Let's learn some vocabulary now about what customers and waiters and waitresses do in restaurants. Before we go to the restaurant, we might want to make sure that there's a table available for us. To do this, we can make a reservation. Another way of saying this is to reserve a table. When we are ready to order our food, we can place our order. This is when the customer tells the waiter what food they want to eat. The waiter or the waitress will take the order. This means they will write down what food you want to eat. The food is prepared in the kitchen. The chef will make your food or prepare your food. And when it is ready, the waiter and waitress will serve your food at your table. After we finish eating, we need to give the restaurant some money for the food that we ate. This is called paying the bill. In America, they say pay the check. And there are different ways to pay the bill. We can pay by credit card, or we could pay by cash using real money. In some countries, it's normal to give the waiter or the people working in the restaurant some extra money after we have already paid the bill. This is called leaving a tip. Okay, now let's practice using some of these verb phrases. Look at sentence number 1. The food is on wooden boards and is in the kitchen. Look at the first question below the video and choose the correct words to complete sentence number 1. The correct answer here is that the food is served on wooden boards and is prepared in the kitchen. Look at sentence number 2. You can only make a after 6 p.m. Look at the next question below the video and choose the correct answer for sentence number 2. The correct answer here is that you can only make a reservation after 6 p.m. We make reservations, but we book tables. Look at sentence number 3. Most diners enjoy the restaurant so much that they tip. Look at the next question below the video and choose the correct option to complete sentence number 3. The correct option here is that most diners leave a tip. They give extra money to the waiter or waitress. Look at sentence number 4. Paying the is easy because you can pay cash or credit card. Look at the next question below the video and choose the correct option to complete the first space in sentence number 4. The correct answer here is that paying the bill is easy. We pay a bill, we pay for food. Paying the bill is easy because you can pay cash or credit card. Look at the next question below the video and choose the correct option to complete the second space in sentence number 4. The correct option here is pay by cash or pay by credit card. Look at sentence number 5. The waiters and waitresses use a pen while your order, so they don't forget. Look at the next question below the video and choose the correct option to complete sentence number 5. The correct option here is taking your order. Waiters and waitresses write down your order. This is called taking an order. Okay, everybody. Now we're going to move on to talk a little bit about how food tastes. This chef loves the taste of the food. He thinks the food tastes delicious. But this chef does not like the taste of the food. He thinks the food tastes disgusting. Let's learn some more adjectives to help us describe how food tastes. Food that tastes very good is delicious. We can also say it is tasty. Food that tastes really bad is disgusting. Be careful with this word. It's very negative. We don't want to make the chef upset by telling him the food is disgusting. Be careful how you use this word. Sometimes food does not have a lot of flavor. For example, a piece of bread with no other ingredients, no jam, no butter. This does not have a lot of taste. So we say it tastes bland. Salty food contains a lot of salt. A good example is crisps. Crisps are very salty. And when we eat salty foods, we feel thirsty. We want to have a drink after. Other foods are very hot or spicy. A good example is chilies. Chilies are very hot and spicy foods. Other food has a lot of sugar in it. Food with lots of sugar is sweet. For example, donuts are sweet. And finally, some foods are sour. Fruits like grapefruits or lemons are sour. When we eat them, it makes us do this face. because the food tastes sour. Okay, it's time for us to practice using some of these adjectives. Look at sentence number 1. Most people think foods like donuts are, but they are also unhealthy. Look at the next question below the video and choose the correct option to complete sentence number 1. The correct option here is sweet. Donuts are sweet, and most people think they are delicious or tasty. Look at sentence number 2. Cooking in Asian countries like India traditionally uses a lot of chilies. So it is very... Look at the next question below the video and write the correct word to complete sentence number 2. The correct word here is hot or spicy. Chilies are very spicy. Look at sentence number 3. Eating just bread with no other ingredients tastes very... Look at the next question below the video and write the correct word to complete sentence number 3. The correct word here is bland. Eating just bread does not have a lot of flavor. It is bland. Look at sentence number 4. Some people like eating fruit foods like grapefruits, but I think they taste... Look at the next question below the video and choose the correct option to complete sentence number 4. The correct option here is sour foods like grapefruits, and I think they taste disgusting. Some people like them, but I think they are disgusting. Look at sentence number 5. I always need a drink after I eat crisps because they are so... Look at the next question below the video and write the correct word to complete sentence number 5. The correct answer here is so salty. Crisps are so salty. Okay, now let's move on. We're going to talk about some language to describe cooking. Here you can see a dish called macaroni cheese. But what ingredients are in this dish? I can see pasta and cheese, and I can see some green vegetables as well. Let's learn how to make macaroni cheese. First, we need to boil the pasta in hot water for about 7 minutes. When we boil food, we put it into hot water to cook it. Then add some sliced mushrooms. Here you can see the mushrooms in the picture. To slice something, we use a knife and we make thin cuts, very thin pieces. These are called sliced. So we use sliced mushrooms. And then we pour the cheese sauce over the macaroni. Sauce is a liquid, so we can pour the liquid over the macaroni. Cheese is not a liquid. Cheese is a solid. We cannot pour cheese. We can only pour liquids like a sauce or maybe wine from a bottle. We pour wine into a glass. Next, we cover the dish. When we cover something, we put something on top of the dish. And we bake in the oven for 30 minutes. When we cook something in an oven at a high temperature, we call it baking. After that, we sprinkle some grated cheese on top of the macaroni. Here you can see in this picture some cheese, and when we use this piece of equipment, we are grating the cheese. And the result is grated cheese. We can sprinkle the grated cheese all over our macaroni. This cheese will melt. Remember, cheese is a solid, but when solids get hot, they change into liquids. So if we put cheese on top of hot macaroni, the cheese will melt and change into a liquid. Then we can finish the dish with some chopped parsley. Parsley is this green vegetable here. It's a green plant. And when we chop, we cut with a knife into small pieces. So this would be chopped parsley. Finally, we can eat and enjoy the dish. Now let's use some of this vocabulary to talk about how to make an apple cake. First, we need to make the cake, of course. Then, put the apples on top and in the oven for 5 more minutes. Look at the next question below the video and choose the correct option to complete sentence number 2. The correct option here is sliced apples, very thin pieces, we can see them in the picture here, and bake in the oven. Next, some chocolate and over the cake. Look at the next question below the video and choose the correct options to complete sentence number 3. The correct option here is melt some chocolate. Remember, chocolate is a solid, but we can change it to a liquid by melting. And then, if it's a liquid, we can pour the chocolate over the cake. To decorate the cake, some coconut on top. Look at the next question below the video and choose the correct options to complete sentence number 4. The correct option here is sprinkle some grated coconut on top. We grate the coconut first and then we sprinkle. Add some mint leaves and then the cake to stop insects from eating it. Look at the next question below the video and choose the correct options to complete sentence number 5. The correct options are chopped mint leaves. We cut them with a knife into small pieces, and then we cover the cake so the insects cannot get to the cake. Finally, there is no need to anything in this recipe. Look at the last question below the video and choose the correct option to complete sentence number 6. The correct option here is there is no need to boil anything in this recipe. We don't put anything in hot water in this recipe. That is the end of the class. Hopefully now you have a wider range of language that you can use to describe food and restaurant situations. Remember, if you have any questions, you can click the chat icon at the top of the web page and you can send us a message with your question. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.